by the end of it. Nice. Hopefully by the end of it, we can maybe break it down into more bite-sized pieces that are more manageable. I'm gonna go ahead and share a little entry poll just to get a feeling for everybody starting out. Let's see, what a relaunch poll. Do y'all see that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'll end my polling. Let's see. Okay, so we had 100% were, how did you hear about this? LSU faculty, and 100% super comfortable. That is great to hear. I can't wait to dive in further. Okay, so, oh wait, share results. Sorry. Okay, now you can see them. Okay, cool. So, oh. Okay, so we're gonna be using our 5 steps to discovering your major and career resource today. Let me do this. We're going to be using this resource to kind of help us along the way of trying to figure out what major do we want to have, right? So our first element is the you piece. You know, you're going to have to do some self-reflection, a little bit of learning about yourself to, you know, eventually be able to figure out what major you want. We'll have to do some research on what majors are actually offered at LSU, what classes and curriculum they entail. And then we're also going to have to do a little education on occupations. You know, what jobs are out there? How do they relate back to us and our interests? And what sets these different jobs apart? You know, their environment, their pay, their different tasks, all that good stuff. Learning about these 3 components, once we put it all together, will help us better understand, you know, what major, what career we want to settle on. So we like to use this nice Venn diagram visual to kind of represent that, you know, this isn't just a black and white decision that's gonna hit you like a bolt of lightning one day, right? We're trying to use a bunch of different factors relevant to you and your life and put them together to then be able to figure out, you know, how do these things intersect, and what would I enjoy as a career path. So when you're thinking about your career happy place, you know, you're in the middle of all these, right? You're thinking about what's the intersection of the things that I enjoy, the things that I'm good at doing, and which things do you find fulfilling to do? You know, when you can kind of squish all those together, we're hoping that your kind of ideal career will be somewhere in the middle of that, right? So the questions that we're asking ourselves when we're thinking about career and our major. We're thinking about, what do I like to do? What am I good at? What's important to me? You know, that's that value piece. What do I really value in a workplace, in a job, in a major, stuff like that. And then also, what are your natural personality preferences? So going back to our 5 steps to discovering your major and career. So this, you'll see steps 1 and 2 are explaining our career assessments. So at the Career Center, we offer a couple of career assessments. We have Type Focus and Focus 7, I believe, that are going to be quick and easy and free assessments that you can do on your own time that will, you know, kind of dissect your personality and your interests, and then they'll take those and actually relate it to career, right? They can kind of act as that bridge piece to like, okay, I'm figuring out what I know about myself, what I like to do, what I'm interested in. Now, how does that relate to jobs? You know, these assessments can be a great jumping off point, starting point for you to be able to bridge those 2 worlds, right? So we have those, and we also have appointments for a strong interest inventory and a Myers-Briggs career assessment as well, if you want like a full-on appointment. So I'm actually going to skip from our 1 and 2 over to 5, because when we're thinking about, you know, these career assessments, we're thinking about the things that we're interested in, how our personality is. We want to know how that relates to different jobs. And so number 5 is actually telling us about these two links, these two resources that we have that are actually occupational handbooks. So I'm going to bring us to one of them. The first one is the ONET. The second one is let me make this bigger. The second one is the Occupational Outlook Handbook. So this is so easy to use when you're kind of in that stage of, I'm interested, I'm figuring out myself, I'm interested in trying to figure out what careers I want, but I don't know what's out there. This is just a straight up handbook explaining, what different people, what is entailed in different careers, right? So if I just want to go arts and design, I'm interested in being an art director. What do they do? All these little tabs give you that vital information that you need. Like, what do they do? What education do I need to become one? How much do they make? All that good stuff. So exploring both of these occupational handbook websites will definitely aid you in this occupation piece that we were talking about. Let's see, the last part, and then so we did 1, 2, we did our assessments. We learned more about occupations and how that relates to the things that we like. And so now we're coming back to the middle, what we're all here for, right? And we're coming back to the majors piece, where we're going to learn more about what majors are at LSU, right? So the sources linked on this are, I'll bring us to them. It's going to be, you can come and look at, let me back up a little bit. So this is our our majors by interest page. So you can always do the classic A to Z list and read a bunch of millions of majors. Or, if you prefer kind of a different organization, you can do majors by interest, where you can go down and say, hey, I know that I want to work with people. Let's see what majors are related to those kind of careers, and you can explore further that way. So that's one resource. Once you kind of thought about a couple of majors, thought about, I might like this one, I might like another one. You can always use the course catalog to come in and see they have all of the majors listed, and you can come in and just see what actual classes does a general business major actually take, right? So you can see not only what they have to take, but you can also see a nice little description of what those classes might be like. And, seeing if the classes are in line with your interests can help you understand whether that major is kind of more in line or less in line with your interests as well. And then the last piece that I don't want to ignore on our majors part right here, it's linking to this resource called What Can I Do with This Major, which a lot of students that I've had appointments with absolutely love. It's such a cool resource. It gives you, it's not working right now, but it shows you a whole layout of all different kind of majors options. You just have to click one, and then this one was animal science. And then it said, where might people with animal science majors work? Who might employ them? What strategies do you need to kind of get there? So that's also a really great website to kind of explore when you're thinking about, I'm thinking about majors, but I just don't know what career is connected to them. It can kind of tie all these different pieces that we're talking about together. Let me see, present. Let me get back to this PowerPoint. Lost our place. Okay, so yeah, that was it for the 5 steps to discovering your major. We talked about our assessments. We talked about the career handbooks that we can look at. And then we also talked about how to actually explore the different majors that are offered here at LSU. So you're thinking, what are my next steps? I just caught all these cool resources to use, right? So first and foremost, do the exploration of these different kind of these different tools that we're giving you, the 5-step guide, the career assessments, the occupational handbooks. So that's perfect for, your own kind of self-exploration that you can do independently. I would say your next steps are going to be to talk to your friends, your family members, also your professors, just people that are in your academic department, faculty. professionals in fields that you're interested in. You know, you're still in this phase of collecting and gathering information. So you want to be able to, you know, extend your network as far as possible and talk to as many people about these kind of things as possible, so you can, you know, be your most informed self, right? If you're still looking for an extra step after that, here at the Career Center, we do have one-on-one appointments where we can speak specifically to your questions or issues, and you can easily make an appointment just by going on Handshake or Navigate. And then lastly, if we're thinking about our next steps, you know, a big one is going to be actually job shadowing. Excuse me, is doing informational interviews, you know, talking to people in the field, seeing firsthand what people in these careers, in these occupations are actually doing. And, you know, that's going to be one of the best ways for you to really figure out, is this a good fit for me? You know, to be able to see it in person, right? So, and oh, yeah, so that's what I would say would be kind of your last step. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys the exit poll before we start the questions. Half of this, let's see. Oh, no, I lost the poll. Polls. Okay. Post session. All right, so take some time to answer those questions.